Hey guys, what's up? This is Aaron, David, and
Kelly. Hi.
So we wanted to start our ketogenic journey and do a vlog. We're probably going to start uploading videos to Tastefully Swanky, as well as have our own Tastefully Swanky Keto YouTube channel.
Yes.
And so what do you think of it so far? First of all, I've been talking about this. It's not a diet. Like a diet, something you come off, come on. Keto is like what I consider like a lifestyle. So I don't know a lot about it, but I've been researching mostly from the Facebook groups for, I don't know what.
A while. A long while. I would say at least 3-4 months, maybe.
And like, I've been telling you about it, and your reaction has been like what?
I haven't wanted to do it, simply because of my experience in the medical field. And I just felt that it was something that probably wasn't such a good idea, cutting out the carbs, having issues with pancreas, etc. But in more research, it seems that this actually makes sense. So we thought we'd give it a go, and we're going to do it together, keep each other accountable, which is a really, really good idea. I think it's good to have a partner in this, don't you?
I guess so. I don't know.
Oh, you do know. He knows. It'll be good.
So I think we can coordinate meals and stuff like that. I think one big thing is having meal prep, like knowing what you're going to cook for your next meal.
Right.
But we're in, like I said, this is day one. So our breakfast was 3 eggs, and you cooked it in like, what?
What do you mean, a frying pan? Oh, I cooked it in butter. I did use butter. And I put in heavy cream and salt and pepper. And those were really, really good. And then we did bacon.
And we had cheese in the eggs too.
That's right, cheese. Cheddar cheese.
And then we had like 3.5 pieces of bacon. And what else?
That was it. Yeah, and water. We had water.
And so we didn't eat again until like a little while ago.
Yeah.
Like probably 7:30.
It took a long time, it feels like, to get hungry. Didn't you feel like that?
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we were out being active, hiking and doing things like that too. So, but it took us a long time. And I don't think it was really that hard to put something together. I know we can plan and meal prep and do those things. But this seems pretty easy, I think. So
what we did for dinner is, I've been hearing about fathead pizza, fathead this, fathead that. I wasn't really sure what it was. So we stopped back from our hike and got some groceries at Earth Fare. Which was like pretty expensive.
Yeah.
But
that's an understatement.
Essentially, fathead dough is mozzarella, almond flour, and sour cream.
Cream cheese.
I mean, that's what I meant. I always get those mixed up for some reason. Cream cheese and what else? 1 egg.
Egg.
Yeah. So what'd you think of the fathead pizza?
Oh my god, that was the best. I would actually compare it to like an Indian food, to naan, but it had so much flavor in it, and it was amazing. And then I think the toppings we put on it too, like, totally threw it out of the park.
Yeah, we had like pepperoni, tomato, and
pesto.
A little bit. Oh yeah, we did a pesto sauce.
Yeah.
Because it was very. Was there any sugar? Like 0.05.
Yeah.
Something like that. And which next time I'll make my own pesto sauce with my Ninja blender. So some things we picked up. Like I said, we're on day one. So some stuff we're both experiencing. Everybody talks about keto flu. Well, what's going on with you?
I think we both started out actually feeling kind of nauseous. Our stomachs got a little funky. And it led to
watery stools.
That's essentially it. We're kind of supporting each other now that we're pooping and shitting water.
So, I think the main thing with the keto flu symptoms is to replace electrolytes, which if you're doing keto, you can't just run out and drink Gatorade. So we've discovered were you saying the blood stuff you just went through? That's what they test is what?
Electrolytes do consist of potassium, magnesium, and sodium. So those are actual. Electrolytes are consisted of those things. So Aaron and I were watching a video of people that were, drinking salt water, Himalayan salt water. I'm not exactly comfortable with that. Maybe in time and more research I will be. I personally would rather eat foods that are high in potassium.
So we've got avocados, but they're like
hard,
not ripe. And I've had a Himalayan salt on hand for a while. I may make up like half a teaspoon water here in a bit because of avocados. We got no. What was it? Was it magnesium in these or potassium?
Potassium is in the avocados.
I picked these up. This go back years and years and years and years. Way over a decade ago, I heard David Wolf on Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell talking about his raw food spiel and stuff. And I'm not that big a fan of David Wolf now. But back then, I tried the raw food diet, and I never had gotten me any cacao bean things. So I finally picked some of these up. These are high in, what is it?
Magnesium.
Magnesium. So avocados and cacao, Himalayan salt. I think these things together will take care of replenishing our electrolytes.
Correct.
You want to talk about some other stuff we got?
So anyway, we ended up getting some macadamia nuts. I think mostly because we saw that guy on that video.
Yeah, we saw the one guy. Like, we're just learning.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know, like, exactly what's going on with all this. My plan is just to, like, jump in and learn as you go. I mean, I've picked up enough to where I want to do this. I know that much, and I think it's the right path. But I get up the minutia as I'm doing it, so...
Yeah, and I think that's kind of why we were talking about this vlog, is because we can actually put something out every week to kind of update you on how we're doing and also teach you what we've learned and what has been successful.
For people just starting out. Yeah.
Exactly. So macadamia nuts, we just saw this guy who did this video on what kind of groceries he gets, and the macadamia nuts are extremely expensive. I think we've already eaten, $500 worth?
They were $20 a pound.
$20.
Which, I mean, I don't know how they shell them, but if they're doing it by hand, that's got to be a lot of work. And if even the machinery to do it's got to be like super expensive. So.
Yeah.
We also got that from the same guy. He got some almond butter. Let me see if I can show you guys what this looks like. I don't know if you guys can see that consistency. Can you see it?
Oh yeah, it's good. Yeah. It's a lot like peanut butter. In the consistency, it's real thick, but it's real crumbly. Like, you can definitely
I like
taste the almonds.
He was eating it. I honestly had something in my head pictured like what is that hazelnut spread?
Oh, like Nutella?
Yeah, I was picturing something like Nutella from the way he was going down on it. But we got hum, and I like stuck a spoon in there, and I was like.
It's like glue.
It's like really peanut buttery, like thick.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna be like working on it a while.
It sounds like he snacked on it. Yeah.
So these really high in fat for like snacks. Now the NTC oil, we just heard an explanation of it, which I couldn't give you again. But I heard Joe Rogan talk about it for a long time. And, you hear about the bulletproof coffee and stuff. So we heard one guy, I forget which was it, talking about NTC oil can lessen the effect of the keto flu stuff.
Yes.
And from what I understand, people are taking like 1 to 2 tablespoons
a day.
Usually in the morning. I think some people put it in their coffee. My plan was to split it up with put coconut oil like in the morning, and then maybe like afternoon or something, a tablespoon of this with whatever. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but that's how I was planning on doing it. And they said you have to be extremely careful with this because you can get to what we're experiencing right now. Like 2 to 3 tablespoons, there's like a barrier there. One is like you're pooping okay, and the next is like...
You're shitting yourself, essentially.
And
But I just want to throw out there too, if you don't mind, is one thing with this ketogenic diet that I've learned so far is that this is basically taking the carbohydrates out of your diet. So normally your body would burn sugar. Instead, you're going to burn fat. So therefore, you get a high-fat, high-calorie diet, and that's essentially how you start burning fat. So I think that's just the basic premise of this diet, and it, like I said, it does make sense after research.
I don't know if Tommy watches this. Tommy is the guy with the neighbor at work, Bill, who got me on this sugar thing. They've pretty much eliminated sugar from their diets and got me. I haven't watched it yet, but there's a documentary on sugar, and it tells how everything went back in the 1950s or so to fats were bad for you, high cholesterol, this bad. So everything in the store that was healthy was like no fat or low fat, and to make it taste good, they loaded it with sugar, and you've seen the heart disease and stuff just explode. Mm-hmm. So they're saying the problem isn't the fats, it's the sugar. So that's big on keto, is like, of course, carbohydrates translate to sugar. I would like to eliminate sugar altogether, especially in the ways I've been getting it, which is like sodas, candy. If I find a bag of candy, I'll get down on it. But I'm kind of rambling here. Where were we?
Anyway, why don't we talk about the cider vinegar? I think that's actually awesome.
Now, my mom has been big into olive oil, cider vinegar, and beans. She had a little booklet, that kind of like folk ways that claimed those were like the holy grail of health. The holy trinity of health is vinegar, cider vinegar, olive oil, and beans. So I've been familiar with this stuff, the Bragg organic apple cider vinegar with the mother, for quite a while. You can see the mother floating around in there. Can you see that on?
Yeah, sure can.
So yeah.
Yeah, so what we did today, and I think we're still kind of unclear as to whether or not we should be doing this prior to every meal or just once per day. But essentially we took about a tablespoon of this and we put it in with a big glass of water. It's not exactly the best thing, but if you drink it down fairly quickly, it's not horrible. But as Aaron explained earlier, or to me, is that this will help with your liver. It'll clean out your liver and keep your liver healthy.
Yeah, and especially you're taking in so many fats with keto. My boss, he probably won't be watching this. He went through a divorce and found like eating was like his comfort thing. So I believe from fast food and stuff, he developed fatty liver, which from my understanding is once you have a fatty liver, you're stuck with it.
Exactly. It eventually turns into cirrhosis if it's not slowed down. So
this is supposed to prevent the fatty liver thing. Like a glass of what I put whatever in with a glass of water until it turns a certain color, and just down. It's no problem for me because I've drank it for so long. It's just a tasty drink for me. I think that was her first time with it.
Yeah, it was pretty rough for a minute. Yeah, so new experiences. Just like the cacao. I don't really like that either. He really likes the cacao. I don't like those.
Yeah, because I mean, part of what things taste good and what doesn't is purely psychological. Joshua Cutchin gives the example of smells, what smells good and what doesn't. If you blindfold a person and you start, I forget the example, but in certain circumstances, Parmesan can make people sick to their stomach because it smells like vomit. Mm-hmm. Or if they're thinking about pizza, it can make their mouth water and be a delicious smell. So, like, I've heard if you think anything's gross tasting, like some people say, oh, I could never eat avocados, they taste so horrible. Try it for a month. After 30 days, you'll acquire a taste for it, is what I've heard. But
I would agree with that, and I agree with what you're saying, and I believe it's true. And I personally was really excited to know that those were chocolate nibs, and I went to try them, and it was just bad. I didn't like them.
I mean, this is like the source.
So that theory does not hold true
I
for
mean,
me.
it's such a strong chocolate smell. If you guys have ever gotten really like the munchies and eaten like your mom's cooking chocolate, like the super dark chocolate.
I've never done that.
No.
Wow, secrets revealed.
It's like more powerful than that.
Did you really eat your mom's cooking chocolate?
Yeah. And like when you're like chewing these, you can like feel the oils come out. It's a nice experience. But also what we have here is heavy whipping cream. Mm-hmm. Now I'm a little bit leery of dairy because I've got sinus issues, and I've heard that dairy, if you come off of dairy, a lot of your sinus stuff resolves. So for the not sour cream, but the, what is it?
Cream cheese.
For the cream cheese, we actually got a replacement cream cheese spread for the fathead pizza dough, which was made out of like coconut oil and like some other stuff, so it was actually dairy free.
Which technically we only got that though because it was the only thing at the store that we were at. But I mean, I'm sure if somebody wanted to use the full fat, full dairy cream cheese, you could. It's your prerogative.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious if there's a heavy cream, like non-dairy replacement for that.
Probably.
So
I would think, yeah.
So you excited about this?
Yes, I am excited. Right now I just want my stomach to feel a little bit better and not feel so But they say that you just push through it. It usually lasts about a week. So I think if we can get through this week, I think it's definitely going to be beneficial. And I think a video a week from today is going to be an awesome, follow-up to this.
Yeah, I've had a headache all day, and I think that's probably me not having any sugar.
And you really didn't have caffeine today either. I think that makes sense.
Well, I snuck some Mio in when you weren't looking.
Great.
Because Mio, no sugar, but it has some other sweetener. That's the one thing I want to research is what sweeteners are good and healthy. Because I've heard talk saying stay away from a lot of the popular sugar alternatives. So that's something we need to look into.
It's really funny though too. When we were at Earth Fair, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
When we were at that store, stevia was the only sweetener on the shelf. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
And that is the particular sweetener that we've seen a lot of people in these ketogenic diets using. So I think we probably could research that a little bit, check into that more.
It's so funny. You have to kind of take control and responsibility of your journey with this because there's people doing all kinds of stuff out there. Mm-hmm. Like we saw one keto channel where she was like, people are doing all processed stuff.
Yeah, I'm not really comfortable with that. I want to go into this because I've done the type of eating that I've done before was always balanced carbs, balanced protein, fat, and calories. And that was, to me, a balanced diet. And I prefer anything that is, fruits, vegetables, or meats. And that's really where I'd like to
this ultra-pasteurized stuff right here would be the guilty thing here.
True. I think there's ways that I personally can go about doing it without having to use processed food. I prefer not to.
Well, my friend, he might check this out. He's on Facebook. Doug, that I went to school with. He started working out as like a big body builder guy, like huge. And I started looking at what he was doing, and he started mentioning keto. And I think he was doing like keto vegan or keto vegetarian because he was doing a lot of avocados and stuff. So there's ways, like people are doing this all achieving a ketogenic state like in a bunch of different ways. You don't have to necessarily eat tons of bacon and stuff. So
I mean, we've heard people on podcasts and read things, they're talking and bragging about how, I just fried up this chicken wing and then I had it with this bacon wrapped around it and then I stuffed it in lard and then I threw it in the oven and then I ate it. And I'm sure that, you could go about this that way. I personally prefer to do this the natural way, and I think that'll be interesting to see like how you and I both connect doing this.
I see lots of people getting tons of Kerrygold butter. Asheville is such a place, like where you live, there's no, like, we have Green Life, Earth Fair, we have French Broad Food Co-op, what's the other one?
I don't know what else you guys have. You guys have everything here.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of, like,
I think we have Trader Joe's and that's it.
We've got Trader Joe's. I totally lost where I was going with that.
Well, you were talking about in comparison to where I live and where here in Asheville you have a lot of options just rubbing it in, but whatever.
Yeah, so I can get a hold of goat's milk, stuff, farm fresh eggs from people. There's such a grassroots movement here in Asheville that I can get butter people are making, and I don't even have to go to stores. So that's a big movement here. So I'm looking forward to getting more into that and seeing if I can acquire those things and meet up with some people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'd like to get chickens, but I think if you get a permit, you can have like something like 7 animals. So I might get some chickens because a steady flow of eggs. And I don't know how expensive it would be to feed chickens, but anyway, I'm rambling. I can't.
No, chickens would definitely be a good idea. I would love to have a chicken just so I could eat eggs all the time. This is going to be the best part of this lifestyle is eating eggs. I love eggs.
Anything else?
No, I think we're good for right now. And let's follow up next week. See?
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.